Our Freedom scooter's on the bench again, but our battery and motor and everything's fine so far. That stupid tire went flat again. I think I found the culprit. There's a big old crack here. So I think our old tires just give up. And until we get a fresh tire and tube, I guess we can discuss some other things. So our list so far, we've got our initial inspection done, tested components, upgraded the battery, still got to add the meter, want to maybe add some underlights. Other stuff that popped up was fix the rear tire. I made the metal cover for the inner battery. We got to work on the battery top cover. That's still to do. Fix the rear tire again. That's still to do. Want to add an LED headlight because I noticed the headlight's not working. And the meter box. This is the meter we mounted up. And then now I got it, the wire all sealed up coming out the corner. A little bit of two-sided tape. So our meter box is done. Now we can add the meter box or get it mounted. So we got some stuff done and stuff still to do. Yep, like I said, our meter should go about right there. Wire comes out the side. Maybe go through one of these little vents here, or just install our own little hole for the wire. And then also got the power on, and like I said, the headlight's not working. So we got to open up this front dash area to wire in our voltage meter. So while we got it opened up, we'll check on our headlight situation as well. Alrighty, there was a screw there and there, same place as on the other side, and now this should just come apart. Alright, a little bit of a hook tab locks them in, and looks like the same at the bottom. There's a little piece up inside. I think it was the tab for over here. Like that one. I don't know if it was me or previous. Alrighty, and here's what the inside of our situation looks like. Alright, headlights just held in by a couple little screws. Wow, wasn't that a great idea? The bulb's bigger than the hole, so the whole unit's gonna have to come out of there. Looks like there's a lower Phillips screw down there, and the two up top, and you also got these two just mounting it to the handlebars. Okay. Alrighty. And now we got our face off. Got our dash all dismantled. The instrument cluster, I guess you would call it. It's basically just a little circuit board with some LEDs. Not a whole lot to it. And then we've got the left and right turn signals, and also a socket for the headlight. And our inner part is one of them guys, and it has a headlight lens and then the two turn signal lenses that go over the three portions. Another thing I seem to notice is the headlight doesn't seem to actually work. I thought it was just the bulb, but got power. And then let's see, like the everything seems to work except the headlight, even the brake light. So, and I checked it with the multimeter, and it's not the bulb seems to be fine. There's no power coming through our red power wire. And then trying to chase them down, these crazy. Alrighty, I threw in a little jumper wire crisscrossing our red and green wires, and now we have a headlight, and it should go off with the power. Yep. Alright, well, we'll make it work. Alright, I've got one of our LEDs installed in our headlight housing. Used some clear silicone, kind of glue it in place. It's set pretty good. Now glue our second one in here at the top and run both wires through the backside. I have our LEDs all mounted up good and solid in our headlight housing. Let that silicone firm up a bit more before we go jerking around and messing with the wiring. Here's the little bulb out of the headlight housing, if we can focus on that. But it's an R10W 24 volt bulb. So I would say that means it's a 10 watt bulb and it runs on 24 volts. So that's kind of important information, because as far as our two LEDs, if it was a 12 volt system, we would have just run the two in parallel. Put the two red wires together and the two black wires together, and they just hook it up to the system. But since it's a 24 volt system, we'll have to run them in series. So we'll run one red wire to one black wire, and the other red wire and the other black wire will be our power and ground. Important detail. I've also been working on the battery box cover a little bit. I trimmed a couple of pieces off, but we still got some good gapages going on. I'm thinking if I trim off much further back, it's gonna end up like that. I don't want it like that. I want it to sit there and then like a nice transition to the battery if possible, and hopefully cover up these gaps. So I'm thinking maybe if I get this piece of plastic, it's just plastic, warm it up good with the heat gun, and then set it on here and kind of let it form or shape right to the form that we need. That way we won't lose no more material. I don't want to get our battery hot, so I'll warm it up off to the side and then just bring it on here and try to bring it down. Got a plan. Alright, I got her good and warm with our heat gun. I got her formed down pretty decent. Still raised up a little bit here in the front, but it latches like normal and everything. Covered up 99% of our junction. Might heat this back up just a little bit and maybe weight it just to nice and true, and maybe this side too. Alright, yeah, warm this stuff up a bit more and weighted it. Yeah, that's much better. And then, well, let me get this clamp off of here. Trim this edge off. Not too shabby. these are the only scraps we've got out of trimming it up, so we don't need that garbage. So as far as the rest of the gap here, I think it may be just a flat piece and have it come down curved a bit so it'll look like a continuation of this rubber pad up and over. Doing some measurements for our battery cover, footrest, saddle, whatever you want to call it. And looks like we need about 3 1/4 up, 5 inches across, 3 1/4 down. Needs to be about 11 inches long. So altogether we need a piece of plastic, or I would say plastic for this situation. It's about 11 by 11 1/2. Now this is the plastic back off an old big screen TV. It's about 1/8 inch thick plastic. Kind of got a little texture to it or whatever. And I'm gonna cut a big piece out of this, our 11 by 11 1/2 for our floorboard. I got one side cut off of our piece of TV back here. That's what it looks like on the inside. Now I'll do our 11 by 11 1/2 out of this piece, and we'll go from there. Here's our 11 by 11 1/2 piece cut out of our TV back. And I'm thinking need to be trimmed up, of course, but like that, and then it wrap around, and it'd just be like a 3-sided situation. I use our heat gun to heat up our plastic. And I rigged up some 2x6s. They come out pretty decent. Let it cool off, and we'll try to make the other side that nice. And there's our plastic cover, I guess you would say. Still a little warm, but and over to our scooter. Something like that. Now do some working a little bit to try to work it in here. Get it settled down a little bit, but I'd like it to come back, and that way we'll cover up this gap back here. But main thing as I work on these curves, getting her to seat down. But that's kind of about what I had in mind. Alrighty. And there's our saddle step over, I guess you would call it, battery cover. I think that should do it. All good and solid. Put some type of I don't know, something to hold it down in the front there. That way it's just a tuck out situation. I got it screwed to the back panel here. Then this will still work with a screwdriver to unlatch it, and then our whole battery cover should come off like normal. Oh yeah, didn't end up needing the front half of the box. Kind of just complicated things, and I think it worked out better without it. Alrighty, I guess we can get back on getting this dash back together. Got the dashboard stuff mostly back together now. The front's all on. I'll plug in for our voltage meter. And you can hardly see our LEDs in there. But let's hit the button here. Oh yeah, baby. That's an upgrade. Alrighty, I'll get the back half of this dash back on and work on getting our meter together. Alrighty, I got our dash pretty much all back together. Just got to mount up our voltage meter. A little alcohol on a rag. Make sure this area is clean. Also the back of our voltage meter box. Alrighty. And I've got instead of two-sided tape, it's some industrial type Velcro. That way it'll be removable. Alrighty, that should be good. Hit our button and this should tell us. Alright. So now we have a battery meter. Cool. Let's double check our. Oh yeah. Cool beans. Turn signals. Yep. Cool. Alright. Still waiting for the back tire and tube. So, more to come.